and the thunder roll, and the lightning strike.
I love that song.
No. What's up, dude?
Dude, I was hoping you would have kept going because
Dude,
this is
that's the
like
intro, dude.
that was beautiful.
Oh,
You
shit.
actually need to make that the intro.
We just started using sound effects recently.
Oh, dude, I love it, man.
Yeah.
What other ones you got?
I don't know. You want to play with it?
Yeah, let's see
Why
what
don't
else
actually let's stop it. You be my
That's
guest.
the laugh one. Okay, so we got
You
the.
do it. Yes.
Oh,
That's
a bad
good,
joke.
dude. That's good.
It's a bad joke.
Sometimes it feels good to say a bad joke because it really humbles you.
I mean, I'm not the best at jokes.
Yeah.
So when a bad one comes out, it's normal for me.
Okay.
A lot of people laugh at me though. It's
I
awesome.
think you're a funny guy. I think you're just saying that. But
I'm personable. I say that.
okay. That you know what? That makes sense. All right.
Yeah. All right. I like that. All right.
All
You
right.
got some things to work with.
Yeah. We could play around with it. You know what? You might just have to start being the
sound effect guy?
the sound effect guy.
I'll be Dr. Sound Effects, man. Dr. Sound.
Dr. Seuss effects, bro. For sure, bro.
Man, how you been, Johnny?
Dude, I've been just working really hard and just killing myself. But I feel incredible. You know what? Just because things are working out, dude. Like I'm putting it out there and it's coming back. So
That's the thing, energy, man. The world is made of it.
yes, it is.
And as long as we put the good energy out, I believe it's gonna come back.
It will, dude. It will.
And things have been going for me, just I wouldn't say how I planned it, but it's definitely been a ride that I've been enjoying more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
It's been a journey. The grind has been crazy. Engineering full time, open up my own studio.
Yeah.
It's been nuts, but just doing it, man, and feeling that I'm working for myself. Finally, things are finally panning out for me. It's been great.
It feels good, dude, when you have a plan and then you're like, oh wow, I brought this into fruition. This is actual reality now. So that's the thing. A lot of people, we could still fail when we get here, right? Like it's like we still have to remain humble
Every day.
and just stay vigilant with these thoughts about pursuing ourselves as whether it's entrepreneurs, comedians, musicians, whatever it is, like beat makers. It doesn't matter if you're making clothing, like you have to stay on top of it
Yeah,
because
your
the
mindset
world's
is a big
constantly
thing.
changing. Yeah, and your mind state's all about it for sure.
Because it's easy to snap into a depressed state.
Mhm.
It's easy to be down, and a lot of things that you see on social media are just very negative.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like sharing their wins, and that's what you see, but it's really not it. And when it gets negative, it's really bad. It seems like
Yeah.
it cries for help almost. Do you believe in affirmations? You
Like
really-
positive. Will you get a little bit closer for me?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
for the people that only
Of
listen
course.
on Spotify and stuff.
Of course. Do you believe in affirmations though? Like
I-
writing down.
I do and I don't because I've heard both sides of that. Like okay, so take it from this perspective. Like when you say something to say that like I am beautiful, it's almost to say that you're not. It's like why you have to say it.
Why do you have to reassure yourself?
Does that make sense? You almost have to know from within,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm not saying that I don't use them and haven't and don't practice them myself.
I feel like affirmations have to be more realistic and broad at the same time.
Sure.
You can't say I'm going to be a millionaire a million times and then expect to be a millionaire next year. But I do believe in manifesting and writing down things like my brother Petty, for example, he wakes up every morning and writes down, I am meant for greatness. I am meant for greatness. Money will come to me.
Yes.
He'll write that down hundreds of times. Money will come to me. It's not when, it's not how much. It's
Yes.
just money will come to me. Money will come to me. And he finds himself not working as hard. And it's crazy. It's just the energy he's putting out into the world. He's realizing that he's more of a spokesperson than he is an entrepreneur. He's just
Yeah.
here to talk people through situations that I know they can do themselves. But
That's what I was gonna get at. Is like, do you think that internal dialogue of like being a self spokesperson from within is where it starts? You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I do one a lot. I do. I'll always say you're always getting what you want. You are abundant. You're always getting what you want. I do
Yeah.
that a lot to myself.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite ones. Like if
Abundant.
things are always working out for you. You're always getting what you want. I literally say this to myself in my head almost every day.
yeah, absolutely.
And like it happens to a degree. Like
To a degree.
life doesn't always like pan out perfectly.
Never.
But if you can like be here now and just appreciate the way the dice did roll, bro,
Yeah. I feel
that
it's
positivity attracts more of the positivity.
Absolutely. And it's a discipline thing too.
Sure.
Staying disciplined on things. A lot of people can be late to their own functions.
Yeah.
And that will really get you off track of being professional, and then you think lower of yourself.
It's a maturity thing for sure.
Absolutely.
Right, yes.
I've grown out of that. Like it was a bad time to where starting working for myself, I was struggling to have days where people didn't call me up for sessions or call me up for graphics, and I'm like, how am I going to make this work? How am I going to make my bills are due next week, and I need to make $300 or $400. How am I going to make this happen? And then just positive mindsets, and my girl reassuring me, just think positively, write down your affirmations, the money's going to come to you. And then the next day I get $300 if I have somebody book all day.
Yes.
You know, it's just.
So what I like to think is like, when you write things down, it's like a spell. You spell things out. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. That's
you
crazy.
manifest it into the world, and then it's magic, if you will.
And that's the craziest thing is my brother Petty, he literally said that. He was like, it's almost magic.
Well, it is kind of.
He's like,
you can't say that because they'll say you're crazy.
I know you're crazy. It's not magic, y'all.
Yeah.
But
it's getting spooky in here. I like this though. See, like my mother was a fan of, and what woman wasn't? I always say it. My mother loved astrology, but what woman doesn't? Like,
exactly.
In retrospect,
Who
that
doesn't want
sounds
a
silly
name?
saying that.
Yeah.
But and to all you ladies out there, what's your sign? You know, email us. What's your sign? Comment below. What's your sign?
What's your sign?
But yeah, she loved astrology, and like even she liked spooky stuff. Like her favorite time was Halloween. She was born on Friday the 13th, October 13th. So she was always into like the black cats and the witchery and like the Ouija boards, and she died a Christian death. All right, rest in peace, Mom.
R.I.P.
She died a Christian death. Like she wanted to. She really got adamant about it. I was like, she must have did some shit.
Man.
like when she actually got sick and stuff, she got real serious about God, and I was like, that's peculiar. But they say people do that.
Maybe it's a thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a thing getting closer to death.
But yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying. I've always been interested or intrigued. I've never seen an apparition or like a ghost or anything.
Neither have I.
But I feel energies, right?
Absolutely.
On people and sometimes on carbon objects, even or places, and I don't know how to explain it fully or verbalize it.
I don't think a lot of people can, but like I feel the same way. There'll be people's energies definitely can affect you, and I feel negative energies from people a lot.
Yeah,
you know, and then some people just bring good vibes.
Right. Sometimes it just makes sense, dude.
But yeah, now ghosts. Speaking of ghosts,
have you ever seen a ghost? The lights just went out in the next studio.
Don't say that.
They did. You said, "Have you ever seen a ghost?"
And then it goes.
Hand to God. The lights go out. If you've ever seen it, this is an old building too. You know what? I've never been here this late.
It just looks new in here, but it's an old building, and we're here late. And I don't like the fact that the lights went out. I'm gonna say it's Cap.
It was, but this is a soundproof studio. They don't know what we're saying on the other side of the building.
Perfect timing.
It was weird.
Weirdly perfect timing. Energy.
That was very
I'm telling
strange.
you, put it into the world.
That was energy. Yes, it was. Yeah.
Energy, man.
That's
but yeah,
dope.
back to ghosts, which is weird. Have you ever heard of that one road? I can't remember what it is, but it's a road where this guy died on a motorcycle crash. And apparently, if you go there, you can see the light of his motorcycle going up, and then once it goes over the hill again, it disappears.
So this is similar to like one of those like cry baby bridge like kind of things.
Almost, but it's weird because like 5 of my friends actually went, and they wanted to take me, and they all went multiple times and seen it multiple times. It's a reoccurring
they've
thing.
seen it?
They've seen it multiple times, and they even have it on footage. They have a cell phone video of it, and it's just a small light all the way down at the end of the road, and it just disappears slowly.
Okay, so if you get a video of it, I'm not even saying that. Let's just say realistically, let's take away the word ghost. Like, is that a glitch in the Matrix? Is this a video game, right? Could you take away the scariness of it and be like, this is just a glitch in a carbon thing that it's like the energy was so powerful.
At that
whatever he
moment
was
in
doing in
time,
that day, whatever he was trying to get done.
I literally thought the same thing.
It was just so big, it just had to stay in that
repeated motion.
Yeah.
It's stuck in motion because that was just so much immense power happened.
And who really knows what energy is anyway?
Because apparently it cycles. It goes. You can wait there another 10 or 15 minutes, and it happens again. It happens all the time.
It's interesting that you mentioned cycles because I was just listening to Randall Carlson. Do you know who this is?
I don't.
So he's a geologist, and not to get too nerdy on you guys on a comedy podcast. So this guy's a geologist, and he actually talks about like the cyclical life of the Earth. So apparently there's this thing called the Great Year, and it lasts about 26,400 and something odd years. Jeez. And then if you break that down, one day from this number is 365 days. So basically, he was trying to say that people who lived back in the days of like the Bible or like say past times, 5,000-10,000 years ago, with recorded history that we found.
Yeah.
So he's saying essentially when people would say like, I lived for an epoch of time, it was like lived for 10,000 years. Years were thought of differently. Time has changed as we've changed. So
Absolutely.
Time has evolved. So that's why I feel like it's definitely a little bit of a construct. It's like I can't explain the world or whatever, but like when I'm out working my 9 to 5 and I'm just like doing when I'm just doing my thing, and I'm like, I feel like I'm in the Matrix.
Do you
I
ever
feel
have
like,
deja vu? Like,
yeah,
I
all the
mean,
time. I feel like I'm really good at my job too. That's the thing. I'm like, but I'm like this close to being like, bro, where's the light on the other end of the tunnel where I can like break free from this
yeah,
fucking thing
whatever
and
this
like
is.
make this full time? It's just I'm like this close, bro, and I can taste it, and I feel like I'm playing a video game. It's crazy.
Life is almost a video game.
We don't know if we're not in some sleeper pod on
You
a
start off at
spaceship just
level
trying to get
0.
here. Who knows if we even got here yet?
Exactly. We're probably not. Who knows if we're just like some fat kid playing our avatars, and it's just like, man, mine hasn't got me killed yet, thank God.
Yeah.
But like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm here though. Like he's doing pretty good. He could do better.
Yeah.
I want my whoever's playing me to is the dude who playing Elon Musk. Like,
Yeah, dude, that cyclical shit. I don't know why I keep coming back to that in my head. This is the thing with that great. I can't explain it fully, but there's an after. It's called After School. It's on YouTube. It's a channel, and they do like a really good graphic about it. It's like 2 hours long. I've only listened to the first hour of it, but it's like a 2 hour long graphic where they draw out all of these different like numbers and like the Earth cycles and the way that the axis moves. But essentially, with a great year, it's 365 days. So one human year that we perceive as a year is only 1 year in the great year, if that makes sense. Or how do you say? I don't know. I'm totally butchering this, but it was weird because I was just gonna say we only have so much time to really be around, and it all goes in cycles.
yeah,
And for whatever reason, when they break all those numbers down, like it turns out to be like 79, and that's the average life of a
of a
human.
human.
So it's like weird if you think about the Earth cycle being like in line with the average cycle of
Of a-
human
of a-
life. Like, how does that all mathematically connect? This guy does it because he's like a geologist and like a
Yo, that's sick. I
mathematician.
gotta see that.
Randall Carlson. You should. He's been on Joe Rogan's podcast. That's probably what got me banned the last fucking episode. You know what? God damn it! I referenced it in the last episode, and they were like, "This is flagged. You can't
Yes.
fucking promote, or you can't
We
advertise
ruined
this."
it already.
Son of a bitch.
Please keep us on.
I should not tell people that. No, it's weird. It's weird that now if you tell people you like that guy though, which he was like a hero to me. Like this is a big reason that I started all the stuff that I'm doing, dude. He was a huge inspiration.
It's almost like taboo now.
Loved it. Love his comedy. It's taboo. It's taboo to talk about it. You got to be like, yo, I know someone who likes that show, and they said this. They said that they saw this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't actually like this show. I heard though.
yeah. And it's also so big now that like I can't catch every episode, but I listen to some every now and then still. And I used to listen a lot. I went and saw him in Chicago. Back a few years back when
Was
it
it
was really
awesome?
taking off. It was amazing. I went to the Chicago theater, saw him, Andrew Santino, and Tony Hinchcliffe. Do you know who these guys are?
I don't
They're
know a
really
single
big in the
name.
comedy industry. They're really
I'm
big.
slacking on the comedy, so I'm stuck in a studio all day. So
Yeah, I
I
feel you.
need to open up.
Get on Netflix, dude. They just dropped, dude. David Spade just dropped a
I
new
was
special.
thinking
Do
about
you know who
watching
that
that
is?
because yes, I do know David
Good
Spade.
too.
Yeah, I haven't
It's
seen
good,
it. It's
dude.
good.
There's been a lot of comedy specials lately where I'm like, fuck.
There was a few bad ones that I watched on there.
There's a few bad ones, and then Spade did one. It was good. It's like he plays like the. He's almost like the edgy guy that he plays in these sitcoms that he does. Because it's almost like you can't do that in stand up, but
You have
like
to kind of be yourself and tell jokes, but he
yeah,
does it.
yeah, exactly. And I like that. Like that's how I think I'm more geared toward that level of. And I don't know how to label it or whatever, but I feel like I'm more geared towards that, just like punchy, like club comic, like old school comedy. It's fun.
It's that delivery. It's his approach to it.
Yeah, he's just having a good time, and he's like really getting it. The jokes are well written, and yeah, I think you would like it.
I'm
So-
gonna have to check it out.
Somebody else just put one out, which I'm a fan of his too. Chris DiStefano. Do you know who this is?
No,
Chris.
I mean if I see him, I may.
He's
but
from New
by
York.
Name, no.
I'm a big fan of his too. I went to Nashville and saw him. Yeah, dude. There's so many. Comedy's blowing up, bro. Like seeing people like Kevin Hart and like
Oh man,
doing shit that they're doing, bro. It's like blowing my mind.
he's definitely excelled beyond what I
Rockstar.
thought it was gonna be.
He's a rock star. He's
It's
one of the most
insane.
famous people on the planet.
He can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Not a single place to someone who doesn't know him.
This was just a dude like from dirty Philadelphia, just like Dayton, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? He used to be a DJ at a strip club. Like he would be the MC at a strip club, and he would do comedy there, and that's how he got his start, as being like an MC, and then he became fucking Kevin Hart, dude.
Would you want that for yourself?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's where I'm aiming. I think I want to go as far as this will take me until someone cancels me or says fuck off or whatever.
Right, until you get canceled.
But hopefully
That's
you guys
the
subscribe
goal.
to my Patreon before that. If you're
Yes.
listening, and we know you are.
The Morning Woods.
Morning Woods.
Yeah.
So dude, I went off on a tangent about comedy and shit. And when you watch this back, you have to follow some of these people, but at least watch Spade special.
I will. I
It's
absolutely
good.
will.
Chrissy D's is okay. I thought it was good. I saw all that stuff live already, but I still liked it. It was funny. My girlfriend and I both really enjoyed it. So
I love comedy, so I'm definitely. My horror is my favorite, but Comedy
Yes.
was awesome.
What's a good horror movie that you've seen lately? I haven't really watched any movies.
I'll be honest. Most horror movies lately are trash.
Really?
Yeah, they're really bad.
So you go back.
I don't rewatch movies.
What
No,
it-
so
okay.
like
So what's a good one though? You can at least pick some. You got into
yeah,
horror, so
yeah,
what's a
yeah,
good
of
one for
course.
you?
So let me think of something
Like
that
Friday the
I've
13th, like the
See, that's-
first Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like,
yeah, no, I seen them. They came out with this new movie X, and it's horrible. It has I forget the artist, somebody in it. Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi's in a horror movie.
That's
and
cool.
It's about
Machine Gun Kelly does a lot of acting roles lately too.
and
Have you
I've
seen him?
noticed that.
That's
yeah.
good for those guys.
Yeah, I
you know?
noticed that. I mean, yeah, good for them. I
Good
mean,
for those
they're
guys.
definitely going out there. I wasn't expecting to see him go back to go to rock continuously as far as music goes.
Yeah. I think that's his lane though, for sure.
He definitely has that image.
You can age out of that too. Like you can't.
You can absolutely age out of that.
Hip hop's a
He's
little bit
smart.
different. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it is.
that's where I think if I would have like had the right production behind me and like the right kind of skills back in the day, and I could have went more towards like maybe like a rocky, like hokey type of. I think I would have liked that lane. I would have liked that, like, I don't know.
I
but
feel like you would have had a lot of longevity there.
I think so too, because you can do it for a while. It's like I love country and folk music a lot, and I almost feel like before I was doing music back in the day, like I used to sing and stuff too, and that was like a thought, at least at some point. Not that I ever like pursued being a country or folk singer, but it was definitely a thought. It was on my radar.
I mean, yeah, that's really what got me into R&B and pop because rap was just kind of played out to me, and I felt like I could do it really easily, and there was not a lot of creativity to it for me. I
Mm.
wasn't getting my fulfillment.
You ever do any magic tricks or anything?
No.
You know any magic tricks? The mic cut out a little bit. I don't know if that's me getting away from it. Or...
It was doing that to me earlier, and I hope it doesn't affect the audio, but it was cutting out a little bit earlier.
Okay, I think earlier it did too. And you know, there's been episodes in the past, and I've listened, and there's been a few staticky moments, but a lot of that is like when we're getting excited and people really talking, and you're getting your elbow going, and you're grinding on your foot, and
Absolutely.
I think it bangs the mic stands around, and like no matter. You know what I mean? How high quality it is, if you start touching and moving on it, it's going to break.
Stuff's going to make noise.
Yeah, stuff's going to make noise. So,
By the way, make a noise. Can we speak about how close we are?
yeah, this is the closest podcast I've ever
we've touched
done.
knees like
Actually, at
3
least
times.
I was going to say twice. Oh, wow.
I was going to say that was the
Three
third.
times is a, oh, you know what I
pushing
mean? It's like,
pushing
if you don't text me later after 3 times, I'm going to be a little upset. I'll be honest with you.
Man, that's so funny. Yeah, brother. I'm so glad that you invited me on here, though, man, because I've been seeing you pushing this heavy, and I'm proud of you because I remember back in the day when we first met, it was at venues, rap shows in Dayton.
I always liked your stuff, dude. I always saw that you stood out in front of like a lot of the other musicians, and you were original and you sang too, where we were all like kind of like on the border of being like gangster rappers in a way. Most people on the scene at that time when we used to do music together. For people who don't know, we used to do shows together when I was a musician. And you still do music though?
I absolutely still do.
And you're still very good at it, but I don't any longer. So, but yeah, you always stood out to me, bro. I just thought you were a talented person. So sometimes it's just easy to kind of like how do you say gravitate towards that. So yeah. So I was like, dude, it's a no-brainer to have you on and have you come.
And when you invited me, I was just like, absolutely. Like I was just glad to see you actually doing like moving and stuff because I was just like, I know you stopped doing music. And I moved away for like 7 years. I was in Tennessee, so I stopped seeing what was going on in Ohio as much.
Okay.
And when I came back, it's like I'm starting to get back in tap with like, you know, it was the first time here at Cap Studio, seeing everything here was great. You know, it was amazing seeing how far he came from 7 years. You know?
I know, dude.
It was a big journey.
I know.
You know, seeing you and doing this, like, you're funny. Like,
thank you, dude.
You got comedy in you, brother. And,
thank you, dude. I'm
I
really
never got close enough to you to know that. You know what I mean? And it's good to see it now.
Yeah, I think I was always pretty silly, but people just thought I was nutso back in the day.
That's a big part of being funny, bro. Is being crazy, being a little bit off and wild, bro. You funny people half the time you don't want to hang out with them all the time.
My raps are like that too. I always was like a little bit try to be like punchy because I was influenced by like M and like the whole Detroit kind of thing too.
Yeah.
And I was always a little bit try to be funny, but like it didn't come off well. And I had to mold myself, bro. I had to like go away and like kind of like cut everything off and just like get on the road and just go do mics and just go show up at places where people do not know who I am and just tell them this shit. And sometimes they don't care. Sometimes they don't laugh. Sometimes it's not funny on my end because I didn't know how to write a joke. And I just kept grinding it down. And I'm still not perfect, bro. Like I'm still not 100% there. But I think that it's gonna take off, man.
I know it's gonna take off.
I think so.
That's the thing. I know energy.
Yeah,
Energy.
you're right. You should come to the Funny Bone, bro. I'll give you a ticket.
I'm coming out.
I got some left. I'll give you a ticket.
Me and my girl come out.
Okay,
Sure.
seriously, I'll give you 2. I got 2 in my bag right now.
That'll be a blessing, bro.
It's the 26th, May 26th.
26th. Awesome.
It's on a Thursday.
I got it written down. As soon as you told me before we started, I wrote it down. So
Okay.
we're definitely going to come out.
Bet on it,
Like
dude.
I said, I work for myself, so I can book my own schedule. I got that laid off.
That's dope.
We're good.
Bro. I need to get there, bro. I really do, and that's why it's good to have friends that are entrepreneurs and that are doing their own thing, because it's totally inspiring, dude. Like I'm grinding my dick off, and I'm not trying to like brag or like and I'm also not trying to say poor me, because thank God I picked
Poor
this for
Jonah
myself. This is amazing. I want this life. Like
absolutely.
Like, okay, so last week I worked 40 hours, then I drove to Louisville and I did 2 shows, and then I drove back to Dayton the next morning, did 2 podcasts, and then I drove back to Louisville that night, did 2 more shows at a club, then drove back, and then I just worked 50 hours this week. We got 2 podcasts tonight, and then I'm doing 2 more tomorrow, and then back to the grind. And I'm stacking up, but I'm like, still, bro, it's like
real.
I have
bro.
kids, bro, but I'm hurting
Oh,
myself. I haven't seen them either.
dude.
They're like, Daddy, where have you been?
Working my life away.
It's crazy. And I'm wondering when it's going to bend. I don't want to do this forever. And then they're like, dude, where were you? And like, I got to pay for therapy. I already got it. That's going to come no matter what.
That's already going to happen.
You can't get out
That's in
without
budget.
it.
That's already in budget. I'm just waiting
You
to get
got
there.
kids?
I have one stepson, yes.
Can I use that?
Yes, of course. I have one stepson,
How old is he?
Yes. He is 7.
7?
Yes.
So, yeah. So, it's different, man. When you have little ones, it's like.
Yeah, it's a different road, man.
Just around you at all, man. You definitely.
And, bro, working for yourself people think it's like, oh, it's amazing. You actually are working for yourself. You don't have a boss to check into. And it's like, yeah, I might not have a boss to check into, but I also don't get weekends off.
Yeah, you're working 24/7.
I'm working all the time whenever somebody needs me. If
Yeah.
somebody wants to book a session at, from 9 to 12 at night, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, I plan to watch a movie with my girl. Wrong. Like,
It's not
you know what I
gonna
mean? It's not
happen.
going to happen. So
I haven't absorbed any content in a while, besides a few stand-up pieces here and there.
yeah, and that's another thing, like social life and just having a life for yourself. Like, I like video games.
Mhm.
Like, I love video games, and I find it hard to sit down and play a video game because I get so sucked into it. I don't want to go back to run sessions or do
Yeah.
anything else.
In the same way, I don't have a PlayStation or anything anymore. I got rid of it.
That's a good thing.
A
man.
while back when I started this podcast. I got rid of all that shit. I was like, dude, I can't. I think my girl's gonna get a one for her because she likes to play too, and so do my kids. But like,
Yeah.
I just I don't know, man. I don't have time, bro. Even like right now, like I'm still when I am home, I'm clipping out these podcasts all week, dude.
Yeah, man.
Like,
It's
I
like
fucking do 4 episodes and I gotta edit them all. I'm dying, bro.
swamped with work.
Please subscribe to my Patreon.
Please subscribe to my man's Patreon.
Begging you.
If y'all
not even
do
live.
anything in your life, just please subscribe.
That's my problem. It's not even live, and I need to vlog. I need to do behind the scenes stuff. I need to have people follow me, jump out of an airplane, or go to a fucking trampoline park, or
Have a podcast hosted in air.
yeah,
Like, literally just hanging in air.
yeah,
It's like, oh, we're on this table. We're having dinner in air, having a podcast.
yeah.
That would be awesome.
That's kind of cool.
They
dude.
have the dinner in air. There's places you can go just have dinner in air
Do one in a van or like in the back of a truck or something.
while it's going 90 on the freeway.
Well, relax. 45. Put your fucking hazards on. We might need a filming permit for something like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I've definitely been thinking about. I have so many ideas for productions and other like movies and TV shows and stuff like that, like in mind. But like all that stuff is like gonna come way later for me. It's like right now I got to figure out how to monetize full time. Like Facebook just stopped my monetization. So thank you, Facebook, and I've appealed it, and I hope that I get it back. But yeah, man, I was making a pretty good side hustle over there. I've made a few G's over there, and it felt good, and I was like counting on that. But I literally like stopped doing it all the time, like because I just got focused on work and doing shows, and it's not realistic to do it every single day. But I do post weekly, and I post a lot when I post. But I don't know, for whatever reason, I just got flagged. This is what they flagged me for, which is probably true because I've done reaction videos. So I think this is the problem. So they flagged me for, how do you say, repurposing content. So they didn't specify the videos, but I know there's at least a dozen on my reels, but I have hundreds of reels, and I have a lot of stuff that's original too, and a lot of it is the podcast stuff. And like one of my reels blowing up initially, one of those getting a few 100,000 plays is what gave me like the drive to kind of like make all this like keep going. It was like the first or second episode, and I posted it, and it got like 160,000.
And you're like, oh,
I was like, oh, I better go now and catch this train.
this is time is now. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's weird is now it's like shifting to YouTube. Now that's like my numbers are going up over there, and then the Instagram Reels are starting to do a little bit better. But I have a video that's going really well in Facebook Reels right now, but I'm not monetized, and I'm like, that's fucked up that I haven't got a viral video in a month, and then when you guys demonetize me,
right?
It's hit like 3K today.
Jumping. Yeah, it's like I can't even make anything.
It's good. I'm thankful though that they're putting it out there. So if you're listening, and I know you are, Zucker.
Yes, he is.
You are.
Him and his thousands and thousands of cronies.
Dude, I think that Elon Musk is gonna like fucking fight the president, bro.
Like fist fight the president. I would
Yo,
love to see it.
if him and Donnie get together, bro, it's gonna be a weird time. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be awkward.
things will shift, but hopefully we save money.
That's all we can hope.
That's
for.
all we give a fuck about,
Man,
dude.
please make our lives easier.
Does anything else matter when you're talking about politics? Can you save us some fucking money? Like, that's it, bro. Gas is crazy, but
yeah,
I'm doing okay. And it's like it feels the same, doesn't it? More people, more dollars. Don't they have to like even that out
somehow?
Have you ever played like a Chinese poker game?
No.
Okay, so me either, but there's like, but there's like a certain.
You wouldn't expect me to say yes.
like, I don't even know how to explain it, but there's like a certain way you could play poker where like you could just keep buying in. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah.
In order for everybody to have like a certain amount of chips, if people keep coming in, then okay, well, since you bought in for this amount, we have to give you more chips now. You have to get a few more points on your dollar because someone else has paid into the pot.
They're in now, so everything's worth a little bit more.
So isn't that how this is working out too? A little bit? I'm a dumb guy trying to make a smart situation sound like normal.
Like it's very easy to explain, but it's probably not.
It's not. There's like there's stuff, there's words.
There's like a lot of stuff of words, papers, documents.
There's stuff, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of talks going on about this way before us.
And that's the thing, like you know, before if anyone ever thinks about deplatforming me or demonetizing me or anything, or whatever, on other networks, it's like I don't know, man. I haven't got it all figured out. You know what I mean? I'm not claiming to know everything. That doesn't make sense.
I wish we could. I mean, I almost would make it easier to, you know, give us a warning first, almost, instead of just flagging it right off rip.
Well, we agree to all those things when we get the app.
That's bull. Well, you know,
sure
none
is.
of us read that.
I know. That's the worst excuse. When aliens come and take over, or the AI or whatever,
you didn't read, huh?
They're gonna be like, "What do you mean?" You're gonna be like, "No one read that." You're like, "You guys are fucking dumb."
You're dumb. You expect us to teach you space travel and intergalactic travel, and you can't read a word.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. Now every alien in the fucking sky is gonna come down and
it's all about man.
Have sex with our wives and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen, bro.
Everyone's slowly going to believe that.
No, well, it's going to be a slow burn for sure. That's going to suck, dude. Who wants to? And then they just all leave, but then like the alien babies just take over. Like we got to live with them at our house and raise them just like their own. And there's like a picture of their dad on the wall. Like they're like, hey.
Oh man, like, hey, Grandpa wouldn't approve.
My father will return. He will strike vengeance upon. He will strike vengeance upon. Centuries later, like just the world is taken over by fucking aliens. They've killed us all off. Like that makes sense to me, bro.
You believe in other life outside of our planet, correct?
I like to explore that idea.
That's a good way to say it.
Okay.
I would like to explore that.
I don't
as well.
full sale buy into anything, but I like to explore a lot of different, even religious ideas. I like to know what people are thinking.
You ever seen anything weird in the sky?
Today.
Don't say for real today.
Dude, it's weird that you say that. Were you up there?
Actually,
were you in the sky,
Mary Poppins? It's been one crazy day.
You came in with an umbrella, and not just because it's raining. I'm okay.
We'll throw him there.
Goodbye. Yeah.
Yeah. So you seen something today?
So it was like a swirly like horn cloud. Like a weird.
I'm glad you said cloud.
It was a cloud in the sky, and it was interesting. And I was like, it's like hot and humid. But I looked around and I was like, there's not a cloud in the sky besides this weird, like it would look like a swirl. Does that make sense?
It's called a tornado.
No. But it was just sitting still. Like it was just a still
swirl cloud coming down.
No, it wasn't swirling. It was shaped in a swirly shape, and I never really seen a cloud like that close. It was close too. And then I was like, I've never seen a cloud like that. And I looked around and I was like, it's cloudy. There was a storm in the distance. Yeah. But I was like, it's
It was very cloudy today. Clouds, blotches everywhere.
But there was blue skies, but
Mhm.
like nothing was as close to me as this cloud, and all the other clouds were kind of in the distance. And I was like, that's super tricky. And then I turned around, and then there was a second one, and I was like,
Nope.
oh, I was like,
You're like, nope.
dude, it was
Speaking of, have you seen the
weird.
trailer for the movie Nope?
Well, no, I didn't.
Okay, it's based about a cloud. It looks like a cloud is an alien. It's like
What? I'm out of here.
yeah,
This
it's
is.
like it's Jordan Peele's new movie. It's a horror movie.
I love
and
Jordan Peele. Yeah,
me too. And it's
those
his new
guys are
movie.
cool.
It's called Nope. And the trailer is literally these ranchers on a farm, and then it's a cloud just comes overhead, and it has like this little dangling. You know how kites have the little dangling things on the back of them?
Yeah.
It has a dangling thing just coming from the cloud.
So what the
itself.
fuck does cloud look like?
It's giant and circle. It looks like a normal cloud, but then like in some of the scenes on the trailer, it breaks it down to where the thunder claps, and you can see it's a ship. It's like a gigantic ship.
This is crazy because a storm came in right after this thing.
Weird, right?
Are they impregnating?
I mean, we
people
are
right
near
now?
right pat, so let's not speak too much on that.
Wow. Wow, that might get us demonetized. No, maybe not. We should be okay.
We should
Yo,
be
there's obviously documents like declassified.
Yeah, they're out
documents.
there that's
Have you ever heard about Hangar 51? I think is what they. Hangar 11. Justin, can you Google that for us, buddy?
yeah, it's a hangar. Like, is it here?
Hangar 11.
Was that right, Pat?
It was at Right Pat.
And they were supposed to have like remnants of the ship.
This is the
and
thing. My camera guy.
shared something
He's
about
probably he's probably a shill for the aliens anyway because he actually we went to he grew up there, but I went to high school out there and I grew up there for a few years. But in Fairborn, which is like on the outskirts,
Mhm.
like the back of the base,
hip.
like where the sewage gets dumped from the base. And it used to be old military housing and shit. A lot of those apartments and houses. It used to be there because they like they barricaded the fence off, but you know, back when they built that thing in the 40s or 50s or whatever, like it was a lot more free. There's a lot more gates, there's a lot more guards everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they really barricaded it off, and a lot of that property gets bought off by regular civilians and stuff. But yeah, I used to live in some apartments that were like old military barracks and shit. But yeah. You're not getting anything for Right Pat, so yeah, they probably don't want you to know about it. But
I literally shared something like a
thought it was
couple
called
weeks
Hangar
ago.
11 or Hangar 51 or something like that.
Well, Area 51, but I know it's Hangar.
I know
something.
Area 51, but you
And
keep
there
talking
was
now, I'll Google it.
there was something that was like I did see this documentary of this guy who was like tracking things, and they had like apparently there was more than one crash in Nevada, like more than a bunch of things and pieces of wreckages here and there. And from the base over there,
Hangar 18.
Hangar 18.
Oh,
okay.
this is what it says: legendary alien warehouse.
Yeah, I mean, so they
Crashed
keep a lot of
UFOs,
crashes in this
autopsies,
hangar apparently.
Yeah.
And they said that there is no longer like there was this news reporter, and a long time ago I seen this old clip, and he was just pretty much they actually came out and said that there is no longer, and the way they worded it was like they're not saying that it was never there, but they're saying it's not here. Like we don't have that here anymore. Like it's like anymore. Like we don't have stuff like that here.
Or that's exactly what you would say if you like just got a bunch more stuff. Like if you were stealing stuff, right?
If there's a bunch of crazy stuff going on, it's just like if anybody finds out about this, we can't even have an inkling that stuff like this is
Or to be
happening.
in big trouble. Like think about
Big
this.
trouble.
Like if you were stealing pizzas, right? And like you just sold a bunch of them, you made some dough, like you got some literal cash from
you're
it, right?
making mad money
And then you just got another big truckload of pizzas, and the cops come over and they're like, "Did you get more pizzas? Because we know you were selling pizzas." And you're like, "No way."
Yeah, and then the news reporters are over there, and you're just like, why is news outside my house asking about all these pizzas?
And the
that I said I
pizzas are
didn't-"
the aliens.
Yeah, exactly.
They just got a boatload of them. They're like, "Dude, no."
No, so we're gonna have to like build lower. We're gonna go more
We're gonna go
underground,
lower.
go lower, and then like tell them we don't have the aliens
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't want to get. I don't. Maybe using the C word. About those theories. Maybe that's what got the demonetized before.
Oh,
Maybe that. But we could all. I think we could talk about it. But there was a piece that I want to say Jesse Ventura, the old governor of Arizona. Do you know who
Yes.
this is? He was a wrestler.
Yeah,
also.
absolutely.
Wrestler.
He is a wrestler.
Jesse was a wrestler. But he did a piece on like the Denver airport and how like they had this whole underground base with tunnels and it goes like
Dude.
for miles across the whole United States and maybe even to all the bases. And Air Force is intelligence. I don't know if you know that.
Right.
Army is like the
Brute force.
the
They're
brute
the force.
force, the force, and SEALs, right? That's the Navy. That's the water.
water,
That's
yeah,
they'll come up out of your toilet and cut your throat. You know what I'm saying?
And if they do that, that's terrifying.
Yeah, that's very terrifying. Were you? Did you serve?
I didn't.
I didn't either. So but,
No, but
I don't vote either.
thanks for those who did.
But I appreciate this democracy and everything that we have going on. It just seems like it's going out the window.
Yeah, right. So I mean, we got a whole podcast named to talk about aliens. You feel me?
Well,
This is where we're at.
Yeah. Well, this is cool stuff. It's like
This is cool stuff to me.
I'm edgy. Like, there's no lie. Like, I'm interested. I'm a wanderer. So, like, if there's a time in history where you can't be like a wanderer and an interesting person and talk to other interesting people, I don't want to be alive. I don't want to be around if I can't do that.
Life would be so boring, man.
It would suck. I would not want to be in any other
lonely.
time. I think this is perfect, honestly. Like,
And I'm sure you have conversations with people in your normal, regular day life that is just like, is this person a robot? Like, am I like simulation? We're going back to the Matrix. Like,
dude, am I tripping, or are we all being indoctrinated like that it's a fucking game?
Yeah.
If you teach everybody that it's a game, it's like, go back to the alien thing too, and even to the ghost thing. It's like, if that's just a glitch, or like, let's say the aliens are like the creators and they put like suits on to come down here or whatever, drones,
undercover boss style.
There's just so many possibilities, and I love to wonder. I don't know. I don't really know anything.
I don't think a lot of 98% of us probably do not know.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't it fun to think about it?
It is awesome to think about.
I don't want
if we
anybody to
don't,
stop me
these
from thinking about
movies
it.
would have never been made.
Yeah,
some of our
there you
favorite
go.
movies, some of our favorite shows, some of our favorite books
There
would
you
have
go.
never been done.
There you go.
Paintings, things like, our minds are just brilliant.
I think it's on an upswing. I think there's always been a little bit of a pushback for people that have been like, hey, let's relax with the content. Let's like, but there's always like been an upswing in like crass, like sort of dirty behavior. Like that will, and then it will be there's like waves of it. And
It becomes more acceptable at times.
I think so. I think we find ways as humans of getting around it language wise. And then that's what makes us cool as human beings, is like the fact that we can adapt to all these different things that are going on around us.
Yeah, and we're so weird.
It's constantly moving right now.
Humans are so weird, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Like, you ever get sad because somebody else is sad around you? You ever just feel bad
Yeah,
when people
dude.
are bad around you?
I was just listening to this this podcast, and they were talking about how they used to have to do ECG scans on your brain and CAT scans where they would hook it up to your brain, right?
Yeah.
And now they can do it with a device that's out here.
It just reads it.
They can read it. So that means your thoughts are out here, my dude.
Whoa.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, you just blew my mind, bro.
So if that's where we're at, and this is common science, then that's the notion that I think we should take when we approach other people in our life and consciousness. And yeah, maybe it is a game, but it's fun, and there's still rules. It's not Grand Theft Auto.
What happens
You're not
at
gonna
the
catch
end
me
of
out there with a fucking rocket launcher.
No, obviously. It's not that kind of game.
You're not gonna catch me out there, dude.
That's not the kind of game. This is a game that when you
For
lose,
some people
you
it
don't
is.
know what happens.
No, my
though.
dude. For some people, it is.
I mean, some, yeah, of course. Like, if you're trying to, like...
This is something that I heard recently, and I don't want to quote this and say that it's my quote. I think Bob Proctor actually said this. Not Procter and Gamble, maybe. I don't know. Bob Proctor. He might have been. Was the guy behind the Secret books. But he said that, life is fun, and it's like a sand timer, right? It's like fun watching the sand drip, and it's cool. We can all see it. We can all watch each other's sand drip, but we don't know how much sand is in the top. We don't know.
You don't know. And you don't know what happens when it's over.
Yeah, dude.
I think that's the craziest thing, that, all this stuff that we have found out in human nature and just our species in general, we haven't found out what happens when you die. We haven't found out if a soul leaves your body. I don't know if there's actually been legit readings of like energy, since we are basically, we know the world is made of energy, but like, I don't know if there's been legit readings to show that there's been spikes of energy when people die, or something happens when you die. Like,
No, I think they definitely have.
I've seen movies that's done it.
21 grams.
I mean, yeah, and then
They did a study.
Flatline,
That's how they found out that 21 grams of fluid leave your body. I know that, but that it's a weight that leaves you. And it could be
crazy.
but it's like the weight of the soul. There's like a theory on the weight of the soul.
Like a soul has a weight on
Yeah, so every person that dies, you lose 21 grams of fluid.
And then what is weight? Because we're on a rock that gives us our gravity.
But here's the thing. You lose 21 grams of fluid, but when they weigh it up, there's always it's always just a little bit. I forget exactly the math on it, and I don't want to butcher it because, like I said, I'm just a dumb comedian. But like, there's something about the weight of the soul where, like, they say it exits the body, and like the poop and the pee or whatever leaves you isn't equivalent to the weight of
what is actually left.
Does that make sense? There's like, whether it's like 0.210 gram, there's some sort of matter that leaves.
Something that is not right on the calculation.
I feel a physical light being with inside me. I don't know if you
Yeah.
do, and I always have, but I didn't know how to verbalize it until maybe more recent years of my life.
Yeah, I feel like we are more than what we are actually seeing that we're capable of.
There's an
And
energy.
I feel like there are people that have unlocked that about themselves.
There's an energy from somewhere else that's literally being sent into this physical body that's not quite me, and I understand that from
Yes.
like an internal level.
Like we're almost like a shell
It's a
almost.
suit.
Yeah, we're really
It's a
and we
meat suit.
and we're keeping our meat suit as clean and healthy as possible.
You have to. It's nice. You should. You should treat
It's
it
our
like a
own
temple
and it's almost our only meat suit that we know of.
that we know of. That's true. That's true.
That's true.
These things, but it's all cyclical. We're not explaining anything, all right?
Yeah,
But
just let you know we're not doctors nor scientists.
we don't even know what we're talking about, but we kind of do,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we know just
Consciously.
as much as probably a lot of these listeners.
That's the thing, because the thoughts are all floating out here, and I think you have to pick up on them and just like, you have to just observe them sometimes.
Yeah, use your own brain. I'm sure a lot of people are just like trying to chime in themselves right now listening to it. Just like, no, this is really what I believe happens,
It's been a fun episode.
It's been enlightening.
Yeah, I keep having this recurring thought that one day I might do the Joe Rogan podcast, and because when I was a kid, when like Joe Dirt was on like the Dennis Miller show, and he was like explaining like how he was like a poor kid and like no one loved him, and then he like became a fucking cool rat dude.
Poor kid.
In my head, I was like, that's gonna be me. So.
You strive to be him. Like that's my story.
Yeah.
Unfolding in front of me.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. It's cool, but it sucks that everybody hates him, man. Because like I said, I always looked up to him, like especially in my earlier years of comedy, and I still catch the show sometimes. And he's trailblazing for a lot of other dudes. One day, JRE is gonna DIE, and there's gonna be more people that need to do content, and it is what it is. So I'm gonna do this for the next fucking 10 years. This is gonna be my legacy,
dude, and it's gonna be a great one. I can already see it. It's gonna be an awesome one.
Yeah, I think you should come back and do the show again, bro, because this has been a fun ass episode.
I would absolutely come back and do the show.
I bet they let us. I bet they let us monetize this.
Let's hope they let us monetize.
Monetizable.
I am monetizable. We've talked about this in monetization groups that I've had in the past.
Yeah, yeah, dude. One time I was a kid, and they told me I got turned down for this audition, and they were like, "Listen." They told my mom, they were like, your kid's got a look, but he's a little chunky. They were like, he loses a little weight. But I was like, shit, they said I had a look. I was like, we're not looking at the, I was like, don't focus. I was like, Mom, why are we focusing on the bullshit?
Let's go get a double cheeseburger and focus on the look, Mom.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a look. I was like an early Jonah Hill. You never know. Like, I could have been the first fat kid on Disney. We just didn't push hard enough. If my mom would have been a better fucking agent. Man. Thanks, Mom. Debbie.
Miss Debbie, I have nothing against you.
Rest in peace.
You did a great job. Look at him. Handsome young man.
I'm feeling good, dude. Yeah. I hope I got a good 79 or 80 of those years in me, just like we were talking about earlier, dude. And
yeah, man.
I hope you do too. You seem like a person with a good head on your shoulders, and I hope that all your like business and everything works out. You and I actually are collaborating on something a little bit right now, aren't we? I sent you a little bit of something to work on.
You did.
We're gonna get some merch out.
Your face is looking pretty cartoony right now.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I don't want to reveal too much, and then that way we get a good social media pop when we put it out.
Absolutely.
That would be fun. And but yeah, dude, you definitely got to come back. Can you tell people the name of like your studio and your social media, and if you have a YouTube or where to follow your music, or that way people who are invested in this show and listened will obviously. I need to start doing it at the beginning, but follow this YouTube channel, guys.
Yeah.
Obviously follow Justin. Will you put the camera on me real quick?
The Morning Woods.
How have we been going? About an hour. You guys, seriously, just follow this on Spotify. Follow this on YouTube. It just takes a couple of seconds, and then I'm working.
Join us Patreon too.
Join my Patreon. I'm currently working on Patreon and starting a mailing list because one day this platform might not be here between us. So
you guys have no idea how much that helps people.
You should
Patreon
definitely subscribe.
Will help people tremendously.
It really will. And this is the thing. I need to put content behind the scenes out for you guys so that you have a reason to give me a couple bucks a month to make the show better and to create it. We also got our first sponsor. We're not gonna do it today, but we got some news behind the scenes. It's our second sponsor because we're already sponsored by Anchor, but that's just the audio version. But we got an ad spot we're gonna be reading soon.
That's awesome, man.
Some fun stuff in the works. So you guys make sure you follow the channel and also the Spotify, and then you guys follow Cody and everything that he is doing. Sure. What is all your social media, brother?
So I run a studio in Dayton, Ohio. I don't really promote that. I don't like it to be marketed that way. It's all word of mouth. So I have some of the cleanest sound in the city. I'm sure if any artist has talked to you about it, they've heard it. I have a music video shoot also 2 days, skateboard of Vandalia. Anybody's welcome to pull up, free skate rentals. I'm feeding everybody. So I don't know what you're doing on Monday. It's a Monday.
Okay.
It's 10 to 6 p.m.
Okay.
We're just doing a little skate video. It's gonna be awesome. It's a real poppy vibe.
Hell yeah.
Think like some soul stuff.
That's dope.
But yeah, follow me at Thrizzy_A1 on Instagram. And Thrizzy everywhere else. You can pretty much Google Thrizzy. I pop up THRIZZY.
You guys follow my guy right here. And thank you so much for listening to the show. Justin, thank you for being behind the camera.
Thanks,
And
Justin.
as
You're
always,
great,
this
man.
is powered by the Green Room, you guys. So shout out to the Citywide Multimedia Group. Have a great night.
See ya.